Mm. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome to the stream tonight. I am Dean the Turkey Legster. Some people call me Jedi Master Turkey Legster because the force is strong with me and the gravy and the grease and all that. So anyway, welcome into this special stream. Normally in the past, I've gone live on Thursday for Once Upon a Turkey Leg. So if you've not paid attention to my channel in a while, I stopped doing that. And this is a special stream tonight. Welcome in to, I see Tina in the chat, Dawn, the Hitchhiking Bones, who is over here also. So welcome to Dawn for being my co-host tonight. And hello to Chuck as well. Tina says, I've never gone lies. Oh, you mean live? Hi, Jennifer. I don't tell lies. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. So anyway, I will be talking about, if you've enjoyed my stories, by the way, you might want to stay tuned towards the end of the stream for a possible treat. But anyway, tonight's stream is, and by the way, actually, let me tell you all, tonight's stream is about the brand new Ahsoka series that launched / debuted / premiered on Disney Plus about 48 hours ago. Tuesday night, Tuesday evening, 9 p.m. Eastern Time was the official premiere. The first 2 episodes dropped to Disney Plus of the Ahsoka series, which Star Wars fans, myself and Dawn, among others, millions of others, have been looking forward to for years. And Ahsoka is a live action series. Of course, I won't get a lot into Ahsoka's backstory, but she was introduced as an animated character in the Clone Wars series. She was Anakin Skywalker's Padawan. She ended up leaving the Jedi in the course of that series, and
big spoiler alert.
continued to fight in the galaxy in different forms and fashions, and
she kind of went off on her own a little bit.
She went off on her own.
Yeah. But she still adheres to, the Jedi Order. She doesn't identify as a Jedi anymore. She says, I am no Jedi is her mantra, but she obviously still wields the lightsaber. She still fights as a Jedi, and she still maintains the Jedi code, if you will.
Yeah. She also is the only character, at least that I'm aware of, that wields a white colored lightsaber, whereas all the other Jedi or the Sith have their colored lightsabers. And
there is a backstory on that.
So so just a little backstory on Ahsoka. We do see a live action Ahsoka in the Mandalorian series, and also she shows up in the Book of Boba Fett, I believe, also. Okay.
We saw her first in The Mandalorian in live action with Rosario Dawson, and we were all really excited because she had not made the jump to live action up to that point. She had just been in the Clone Wars and Rebels, so it was so cool. I think Rosario Dawson's done a great job with her, Dean.
Yes, I do, and I'm glad that they. Now I'm trying to remember the timing on whether they had announced the Ahsoka series when they did that episode, but I'm kind of wondering if they were kind of feeling out what a live action Ahsoka, what the response would be from fans. I'm kind of wondering if that was what they looked at um, or tried doing first. But anyway, the series came out, and let me just look this up to make sure. I looked up a timeline this afternoon or today, and I found this image. It won't look like anything special if I show it, so I'm just gonna. The timeline of the Star Wars story. Oh, and I'm plugged in, so I can't even. Anyway, it's a timeline that has all of the shows, where all the shows take place, all of the movies in the series. It's got towards the top, of course, you've got episodes 1, 2, and 3.
Noah.
With the movies following, it incorporates all the movies and shows up to Ahsoka, including Ahsoka and even some of the unreleased projects. So according to this timeline, and which I already knew, but the Ahsoka series takes place in the space and the timeline. Oh, hi Noah, welcome in. Um, After the fall of the Empire and before the
Thanks,
rise of
Jennifer.
First Order. So that's a
Mhm.
span of, according to this, it's about 30 years in that whole space. Um,
Mhm.
uh, so um, that's a little backstory. All right, Jennifer, take care. I hope your team wins. If I don't know if that's the Steelers. I am not a sports person, so I don't. May the best team win. Um, and yeah. So Ahsoka. Um, Now, I said I wasn't going to go in too much detail, but just talking about the opening of the first episode. It opens with a very nice crawl, um, giving us an introduction to kind of where we're coming into. That's kind of reminiscent of the crawl we get on the Star Wars films, with that comes
Mhm.
in and goes off into space. This crawl does not go like off into space. It goes across the screen with the stars in the background,
Yeah,
and it's
just a
just
regular. I thought that was
very,
kind of interesting that they would would do it that way, with that opening
yeah.
crawl instead of going off into the distance. It's just a regular crawl up the screen. I don't know why they chose to do it that way.
I think to me it kind of harkened to classic Star Wars with the a crawl in front of stars. But
Hmm.
I think having the difference there, it kind of signaled kind of the
Hmm.
fact that it's a new
A different
series,
ball game.
a different feel. The music that played under that crawl, I absolutely loved. I think it set a great tone for the opening of the
Hmm.
start of the series. Um, I don't know how you feel about that, Don.
Yeah, and it is different music. I was looking. It is not the same composer who did um, Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan Kenobi. That would be Ludwig Göransson. But it is. Let's see. Let me see if I can find. I haven't made my notes yet on this. Um, who did the music? It is someone that we're familiar with. Has done Disney scores before. I will confess that I wish they had stuck with Ludwig Göransson on this, because I absolutely love what he did for the first three, for the Mandalorian, the Book of Boba Fett, and then He did not do. Ludwig Göransson did not do um, Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
Actually, John
Obi-Wan
Williams himself
was, yeah.
composed Obi-Wan's theme, which I thought was fantastic. Let's see if I could find. You could go ahead, Dane, and I'll see
Yeah,
if I can
so,
find who did
just in that opening
music.
scene, I just thought it was great setting the stage. We then open up to kind of a classic view of the stars, and then we have some ships flying in space,
Mhm.
and then we head on down to um, and I was going to go back and rewatch these actually, but we right at the beginning uh, the of the episode, we open up with Ahsoka doing a exploring some ruins, going down into a cavern, and honestly, this gave me Indiana Jones vibes in this
Mhm.
series
Yeah.
because she's
Yeah.
you see her turning these columns, the top of these columns, getting lights to go certain where places. She finds an
Mhm.
artifact, if you will, ends up being a map. And so that was very, Indiana Jones. Then, of course, she leaves. Comes out of there and she meets up with these, I want to say like assassin droid type things, and they're
Mhm. Mhm.
coming after her to get they want the artifact as well. We
Mhm.
also open with a scene aboard the ship that kind of gave me um, a combination, kind of a New Hope feel, just with the style of ship and kind of the
Mhm.
plot, because it was kind of actually, it kind of reminded me at the same time New Hope and the Phantom Menace, kind of the beginnings of those two, because we
Mhm.
have
Mhm.
a ship coming on board a ship, and then these two characters. Sorry, this is very spoilish right here, but we are introduced to these two characters who are not um, Jedi. We find out they're not
Mhm.
Sith, and they're rescuing um, a lady leader, and so that was a very interesting beginning
Mhm.
to the series. And then that I think that goes into, I think that was the very first scene, because we do open
Yes.
the episode with the ship. So we start aboard the
Mhm.
ships, and then at the end of that scene, they
Mhm.
mention Ahsoka's name, and I can't do that dialogue any justice. But then we go to the planet. So that's kind of the start of the first episode.
Mhm. Mhm.
During the um, and then just looking at the rest of the episodes as a whole for me, and then I'll let Dawn kind of give her comments on everything. But I enjoyed the series. We do meet our the two episodes. I enjoyed the series so far.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I did too. Very much so.
um, the um, we meet characters from the Rebels series, which is another animated series. That
Mhm.
Ahsoka shows up in as well during
Mhm.
that
Yes.
series. And we meet Hera Syndulla, uh,
Mhm.
referred to as Captain Syndulla. She is a captain
Mhm.
in the Rebels. And
The
then
general,
also,
actually. It's a
oh,
general.
General. Was it
General
General? Oh,
Syndulla.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, we also meet Sabine Wren, who
Mhm.
is from Rebels. Also, we see Chopper, the droid, who
Yes.
I
Yes.
total
Love
fan of
Chopper.
Chopper.
Oh
I
yeah.
have to be honest. My first favorite droid in the Star Wars universe is R2D2,
Mine
And then
too.
I would
Mine
honestly
too.
say Chopper is number 2, and then, you know, C-3PO, I'd probably say number 3, and,
Mm-hmm.
um,
The BB-8.
I don't hate BB-8, but, I have to put him kind of behind R2-D2 and
I
3PO, and
agree.
then Chopper was just a great comic relief in the
Mhm.
animated
Chopper's a lot
series.
of fun.
Yeah, because honestly, Rebels was a lot of fighting, so they needed that comic relief
They did, yeah.
in there, as well as he helps. He's very much um,
Mhm.
does what R2-D2 did.
Mhm.
He helps, and he's very much a part of that team. But anyway, so we meet those characters. We have the
Yeah, for the very first time in live action, we meet those characters from Rebels, and many people, if you have not watched Rebels, you don't recognize those characters. They were introduced new. The crew of the Ghost, which is the name of Command or General Syndulla's ship, is totally new. This series came straight out of Dave Filoni's head. This whole thing is all Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni has, he's the director, he's the writer on this thing. Ahsoka is kind of his baby; she's his character, and so it's really exciting to me, Dean, to see these characters from the Clone Wars and then from Rebels in live action for the first time, and it's going to be interesting because we're going to see even more. They've talked about Ezra. They've talked about who is a Jedi. That if you haven't watched Rebels, you have no clue who Ezra is. So Ezra Bridger, and he is a young Jedi, and it's really going to be a lot of fun, I think, as they progress with this, to see how they develop this story. They are picking up pretty much exactly where Rebels left off. So I highly recommend watching Rebels. There are 4 seasons. Star Wars Rebels. It's an animated series created by Dave Filoni. So highly recommend.
absolutely, and the
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars too.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't watched Clone Wars, I mean, there's 7
Mm-hmm.
seasons, but
Mm-hmm.
and there is a section on Disney Plus. I forget what it's called, but it's
Central episodes.
essential
Little essential
episodes
episodes. Mm-hmm.
about
To
Ahsoka
watch.
Tano. Now, if you're really eager to start watching Ahsoka, but you want to get familiar with
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka, you can do, in my view, this is what you can do to kind of see, um, just get a snapshot of who Ahsoka
Mm-hmm.
is and where she's been. You can
Mm-hmm.
do a few things. Start with there was a spin off movie for the Clone Wars, a full length film that even before the series started. Watch that film, then watch at least, I want to say the last few, I should have looked for sure, but the last few episodes of the 5th season, where you
Mm-hmm.
kind of see
Yes.
where Ahsoka's
Mm-hmm.
gone, why she's left.
Mm-hmm.
Because between there, Ahsoka is Anakin's Padawan, but then towards
Mm-hmm.
the end of 5, at least 3 or 4 episodes, we see what happened to Ahsoka and why she ended up stepping away from the Jedi. Then
Mm-hmm.
I would say, um, what was I going to say? Actually, it's probably the last. I would recommend watching the last few episodes also of, I want to say the last season of Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Should be
but
season 7. Mm-hmm.
season 7.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
5, 6 of season 7, episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 are going to be critical. So that's 4 episodes from season 7 of the Clone
yeah,
Wars that you could watch.
and then, from from Rebels,
Mm-hmm.
the last couple of episodes, although, picking some episodes may not be, you won't get a complete picture, but
Mm-hmm.
just, I would say that might give enough of a clue
Right.
of what has happened to Ahsoka. But like,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, and this would take a lot of time, but like the whole like series, you know, are just great. But I would say
Oh
those
yeah,
give
they
enough of
really
a
are.
snapshot. But probably those essential episodes that Disney Plus has will
Mm-hmm.
probably be, what you want. That's
It's a
I mean,
it's a good
that's
list.
the
It's a
whole
good
point.
list.
So anyway, I let me just finish. I'll finish my comments and I'll turn it over to, sorry, over to
Okay, that's fine.
um, Dawn, because I'm already in it. Um, I enjoyed all the villains that they have showed up.
Mhm.
They did mention throughout these 2 episodes that they are looking for this Grand Admiral Thrawn, who
Mhm.
has disappeared into another
Yeah.
universe, and we find out that they are the artifact that Ahsoka finds that the bad guys recover from her or take from her, is actually a piece of the puzzle that they need to go.
Mhm. It's a map.
And
Yeah.
it's a map to a portal that goes to the other universe to find Thrawn. Um, so we do see that. The feeling, I honestly, there were a lot of characters already. I feel like there are a lot of characters. I love that, obviously here, General Syndulla,
Mhm.
Sabine
Yeah.
Wren, they're all there, and then all of I
Mhm.
feel like there's maybe one or two extra characters at this point in the series. Um, but I think
General Syndulla, by the way, General Syndulla, Harris Syndulla, I love this, is played by Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who is actually um, Obi-Wan Kenobi's wife, the guy that played, well, help me, Dean, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi? My mind is
Ewan
blank.
McGregor.
Ewan McGregor's
Yeah.
real life wife, which I
Oh,
think
really?
is really cool. Yeah. Yeah. They're married in real life. So I thought that was really cool.
Oh, I did not know that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Cool.
Ewan
But yeah,
McGregor.
anyway, I felt like the story already had too many players in it already. I feel like, we need to get going with the story a little
Hmm.
more. I feel like we are given a clue to this Ezra Bridger um,
Hmm.
character via a hologram. So there's a hint that he will show up later. We're also going to see Admiral Thrawn. I hope they kill someone off. That's terrible. But I think, that way we just have more of, I think, otherwise it's going to be too many people. That's kind of my one critique at this point is I feel like there's
Hmm.
already too many like people on the scene. I feel like the two, non-Jedi people, um,
They're Sith, actually.
or Sith.
Yeah, they're Sith, actually. Yeah, they're masquerading as Jedi at the beginning, but they're actually Sith.
Yeah, I feel like either, I feel like the lady didn't need to come in at this point. I feel like that's just my initial reaction, but I've loved the series. Um, I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. Um, so yeah, I'm very excited. I'd say out
Mhm.
of 10, I give it probably a 9 at this point, a 9 out of 10. Um, so yeah, and it's all I can think of right now as a reaction. Great. Great to see the live action version of
Oh
Ahsoka,
yeah.
the live action of the other Rebels characters,
Mm-hmm.
bringing that into the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so um, yeah, it's a very exciting
It is.
launch to
It is.
the series, in which, with the premiere being 2 episodes, we're
Mm-hmm.
already a
Love
quarter of
that.
the way.
Yeah.
We're already a quarter of the way through the series. I hate to point that out to everyone, but we're already a quarter of the way through. Um, but going forward, there will be only 1 episode each week. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There are 8 episodes to this. Yeah.
there's 8 episodes, and they
Mm-hmm.
have two already released. So
Mm-hmm.
very exciting. I loved it. So
Mm-hmm.
now I will let you talk. I'll let
Okay.
you
Okay.
talk now that
Okay.
I've said my
Well,
2 cents.
yeah. Well, I agree a lot with what you said, Dean. I felt like, I have been really, really excited about this series because I have really loved Ahsoka since she was introduced, and uh, she was introduced. I mean, we have seen her, her character development all the way from, being a very young Padawan to Anakin Skywalker, and then also Tales of the Jedi. Let's not forget Tales of the Jedi,
Oh, that's
Dean,
right. Yeah.
which came back. There are 3 episodes in Tales of the Jedi that actually, deal with Ahsoka. The very first one is her birth. So we, with that episode, we're all the way back to Ahsoka's birth, development of her character through the Clone Wars, through Rebels, and now, with the series, we have seen her entire life and character development. There are 3 episodes in Tales of the Jedi in which which is a recent animated. They're shorts. They're short stories. Really, really cool. If you have not watched those, episodes 1, 5, and 6, I deal with Ahsoka. Have Ahsoka in them. So those are also some that I would really, suggest that you watch. Um, I thought some of the some one of the things that I appreciated is this one really starts off with action immediately. With Obi-Wan, it took us a little while to kind of, get into the story. I have no problem with that. Some people complained about it being too slow. I have no problem with, taking a little time to develop a story, but you didn't have to wait for this one. It pretty much jumps right into the action. I uh, the character whom is being rescued by the Sith who pose as Jedi at the beginning is the character that Ahsoka battled in The Mandalorian the very first time we saw her in um, live action. She battled Morgan Elsbeth. This character's name is Morgan Elsbeth, and very good. I think she does a really good job with the role. That episode of The Mandalorian is one of my favorites, where we first saw Rosario Dawson play her in live action. And let's see, that her name is Diana Lee Inosanto, plays Morgan Elsbeth. So now I think she's only supposed to be in a couple of episodes. Well, so far she's just been in the first and second, so that's probably. I'm looking at IMDb, Internet Movie Database, and so she. But the thing that was really interesting here, Dean, that I really loved is that she's a witch. We find out that she's
Yeah,
one of the witches, and I can't think of the name of their planet. I didn't have time to make any
Dathomir.
notes. Yes, 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 yes. That's it. And so that whole storyline is extremely fascinating, and that's in Rebels. If you're interested in that, uh, just a really interesting piece. The Witches of Dathomir are an ancient order. They they're pretty much bad guys. You know, they're kind of out for themselves, but really fascinating species, I guess, or group of people that they
Yeah.
introduce. And so it makes sense that Morgan Elsbeth is one of the witches of Dathomir. That I really liked that declaration and finding out.
Hmm.
Um, as far as I absolutely love that they brought the characters from Rebels into live action. We see Mary Elizabeth Winstead again, who plays Hera Syndulla. She does a fantastic job. Natasha Liu Bordizzo as Sabine Wren is perfect casting.
Yes.
She actually even looks like Sabine in the animated. Didn't you think so, Dean? That she looks.
Yes, I thought even from, just the
She
trailers, I'm
does.
like, that is definitely
Yeah,
Sabine Wren.
yeah. She
Definitely.
does. She really does a good job with the role too. So I'm excited to see more of her. But in these two episodes, they really there was a lot of action. They introduced Morgan Elsbeth's minions, the two Sith, or who pose as Jedi, but they're actually Sith, who are her minions. And those three are trying to free Grand Admiral Thrawn, and Ahsoka and uh, Sabine are searching, of course, for Ezra Bridger, their Jedi friend, who actually, well, I won't say that spoiler. I'll just as far as what happened to Ezra, you'll have to
Yeah.
watch a couple of the episodes. I won't, but they're looking for Ezra. And Morgan Elsbeth and her minions are looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, who is, wow, guys, Grand Admiral Thrawn is a bad dude. He is, and when you see him, you will know it. He is very cunning. He's very calculating. He's a thinker. He is hard to defeat simply because he's generally one step ahead of our heroines. He's a tough cookie. So, and they are hoping he is the heir to the empire. They're hoping to bring him back as the leader of the empire, and start the war again. That's what they're hoping. But he's a great villain. He really is. So I'm really looking forward, to seeing what they're going to do with him. Um, I will have to say, let's see who. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I could see um, who is playing him.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't remember that. I
I
do I
can't
do
remember. It's the
also.
same guy who voices him in Rebels.
Okay.
It's the same guy who voices him. Let's see who. Hang on just a second. Let me find it. Does a great job. But yeah, he's actually playing him in the live action. Oh, I'll find it here in a minute. Go
And
ahead.
Ezra Bridger at the end of Rebels, he heads off to look also for Grand Admiral Thrawn. So that along with what we um, the scene, that along with the fact that Ahsoka is looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn, um, you know, and just some of the
Mhm.
scenes, also some of the kind of the emotional stuff that we hear from
Mhm.
like Sabine and Ahsoka, and
Oh yeah.
um,
Yeah, there's a
you know,
dynamic there that they introduced that we didn't know about. Spoiler, I did not know that Sabine Wren was Padawan to Ahsoka. That she was
Yeah,
Ahsoka's
I didn't
Padawan.
either. So,
So that's kind of a new
yeah,
introduction there. There's some backstory that they're probably going to fill in on that, but they do a really good job, Dane. I think in these two episodes, the first one was almost a whole hour, which I love, um, of introducing the characters, bringing the characters in, developing the characters, bringing in your plot, setting the storyline, what's going to happen, and then setting out on the adventure. I mean, they accomplished a lot in these first two episodes. I thought I really did.
yes.
Hmm.
So Tina McNeil says, "Wait, witches? Did you start talking about Harry Potter when I heard?" So the witches are um,
The Witches of Dathomir.
of
They're
Dathomir, who we do meet. Now we
hmm
meet them, I know, in Clone Wars. And
Yes, I
they
think
share
so.
the planet. They share the planet
Briefly.
with the race of same race as Mr. Darth Maul, who
Hmm.
also reappears in that series.
Yes. Oh God. Yeah.
And so there's a lot, kind of a lot there. Um, um, we meet them when Asajj Ventress is kind of kicked out of the
Yeah.
separatist
Well,
side, and then
she's actually she's a witch too. Asajj Ventress
she's a
is
witch
also
too.
is a
Yeah,
witch. Uh-huh. She is.
so
She's
she
from that race.
heads home.
Hmm.
Yeah, so then she goes home to the this group of witches, and then they're the I forget her name, the head lady, head witch. They're the kind of the mother.
Mother
I think they just call
Talzin.
her Mother
Mother
Talza. Okay,
Talzin. Mm.
yeah, Mother
Yeah,
Talzin. She's
Talcin Talzin. Hmm.
okay. So anyway, yeah, she heads home there. We introduced the Clone Wars series, and here I'm going back to the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars
Hmm.
was just chock full of seeing so many different planets
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
peoples
Yeah.
around the galaxy. I actually
Absolutely.
rewatched the series, I think back in the spring or something.
Hmm.
Um, I just went back through that series, and it
Yeah.
was there were episodes that I forgot about. There were episodes that I remembered that I
Hmm.
really enjoyed. And there's just
Yeah.
so much
Love
to
it.
there, so much story. Then also in Star Wars Rebels, that takes place. Of course, that takes place in between episodes. Okay, so the Clone Wars is between 2 and 3. Attack of the
Hmm.
Clones, Revenge of the Sith. The last
Hmm.
couple episodes of the Clone Wars, we actually see a different perspective to the events surrounding Order 66. So we see a different
Hmm.
perspective and involving
Hmm.
Ahsoka actually. So that
Hmm.
was kind of neat to see how even though we don't
Oh yeah.
see Ahsoka in episode 3 because it's all focused on like Anakin and Padme and Emperor Palpatine, we see Ahsoka still involved in everything that's going on there. Um, but and I forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, the Clone Wars is just chock full of seeing the galaxy, parts of the galaxy.
It really
Uh,
is. And different species, a
yeah,
lot of different species. Really
different species
excellent.
and
Excellent. Yeah.
races. Yeah, and we see that also in Rebels
Mm-hmm.
as well. Um, so, and also to shout out the Tales of the Jedi that you talked about, Dawn. There's the other episodes. I think there's like 6 episodes in that series.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 of them cover Ahsoka. The other
Mm-hmm.
3 cover Count Dooku's
They do.
past. Well, he's still a
Yeah.
Jedi, but he's we
Mm-hmm.
see how he's turning to the dark side, leaving
Mm-hmm.
the Jedi and all that. So
We
that was a fun
also
series also.
I love that series, Dane. And I love that we also get to see Yaddle, who is the female of Yoda species. She's on the Jedi Council. We get to see her. Absolutely love that. And some more, again, character development with Dooku. But I love that we get to see Yaddle, and she is voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard, who is of course one of the great producers from The Mandalorian and some of the others. So just good stuff. Just really really good stuff. Aha, and it doesn't take long, guys. Go watch. Yeah, if you have a lunch break or whatever, go watch those 6 episodes because Tales of the Jedi are shorts. They are shorts, and they can be watched very quickly. And the animation is wonderful, very well written. Highly recommend Tales of the Jedi.
Yes, absolutely. Um, so yeah, just to wrap up, that's kind of their reaction, thoughts on Ahsoka, and we've kind of been all over the place talking about, who Ahsoka is, where she's been, the people we're seeing. I'm excited to, see where this story goes. I do want to see a live action, Ezra Bridger come
Oh yeah.
in, the live action Grand Admiral Thrawn. I
Mhm.
also secretly,
Lars Mikkelsen. Lars Mikkelsen, I
okay,
think, is yeah is and he actually voiced Grand Admiral Thrawn in the Clone Wars and also in Rebels. So that's exciting. So they're bringing him in as the actual actor. So I'm really excited about that.
yes. So look forward to those. I'm secretly hoping, I don't know if they'll do this, but since Ahsoka pops up in The Mandalorian, I'm secretly hoping that Mando and Grogu pop up somewhere in the Ahsoka series because it is that same basic timeline. I don't know if they'll do that. I don't
Right.
know if that makes sense, that maybe in a second season at least, maybe not
Hmm.
in the first season, but I'm secretly hoping that, keeping my
Oh yeah.
fingers crossed. Um, but I'm very excited for where the series will go. And
I'm good. Yeah. It's gonna be anytime, Dean, we get you're all Star Wars, Star Wars fans are, a lot of times they're all over the place. Um I think we were all, united in applauding the Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's fantastic. Some of the best content we've gotten, I think, since 1977. But the anytime we get new Star Wars content, I mean, every Tuesday, we get to sit down, Dean, and watch the feathering story of this amazing franchise that started in 1977 with Star Wars. And it was just Star Wars, not A New Hope. It was just Star Wars, in 1977 when the movie came out. It's exciting. It's just, it's neat there's so many adventures to be had, and the fact that Ahsoka, as a character, was an animated character that was introduced much later, than and even a new species, um, is really cool that they're still introducing these fantastic characters that we love so much. We've got a lot coming up here. Um, we saw in, uh, uh, well, Obi-Wan. It was an Obi-Wan that one of the characters made it, did a cameo. Zeb did a cameo
that's
in
true. Yeah,
yeah,
another
he did. We saw him,
Rebels character there. Yeah.
another
And
Rebels
yep.
character. So it's we haven't seen him yet in Ahsoka. I think we will. I think we will see Zeb but just it's really exciting to me. We have brand new Star Wars content coming, and anytime that's the case, I just bring it on. I'm looking forward to it, Dean.
I ditto that. Definitely ditto that. So with that, I guess as for just basic, comments, I guess that's where we'll leave it for this stream. First 2 episodes down. There's six more episodes to go of this great new series, and we're all looking forward to it. Definitely,
It's going to be great.
excited. So now, okay, I teased earlier that we would have a special treat tonight. And so tonight, for everyone who loves Star Wars, and in honor of Ahsoka, and in honor of the fact that I'm usually live on Thursday night to read stories, I'm going to read this Star Wars, I Am a Padawan. So I am, as I told you, Dawn, I'm going to go ahead and make myself big, and we'll come back to Dawn and we'll wrap up our stream tonight. But let me figure out how to do this. Solo. Hi, there I am. Okay, so here we are, guys. Star Wars, I Am a Padawan, a little golden book. It is written by Miss Ashley Eckstein, who is the voice of the animated Ahsoka Tano in the Clone Wars and Rebels. So, I Am a Padawan is by Ashley Eckstein and is illustrated by Shane Klester. I am a Padawan. I am a young Jedi in training. A Jedi protects the galaxy from harm. In order to become a Jedi Knight, a Padawan must be strong with the Force, an energy field created by all living things. The Force is strong with Ahsoka Tano. Oops, wrong side. Sorry. When Ahsoka was little, a Jedi Master named Plo Koon sensed her power and brought her to the Jedi Temple for training. Here's that picture again. Jedi Master Yoda helped train Ahsoka and other Force-sensitive children, called younglings, so they could become Padawans. Yoda taught his students to use the Force for knowledge and defense, never for attack, and warned them to control emotions like anger and fear, which lead to the dark side of the Force. When younglings become Padawans, they are paired with a Jedi Knight who will continue to teach them the ways of the Force. Anakin Skywalker, one of the most powerful Jedi of all time, took Ahsoka as his Padawan. The best way for a Padawan to learn is through experience. As Anakin's Padawan, Ahsoka was eager to prove herself in the Clone Wars, fighting alongside Anakin, Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, and a loyal clone trooper named Captain Rex. A Padawan must learn to make new friends and work well with others. Barriss Offee was also a Padawan, but she was very different from Ahsoka. Barriss did whatever her Jedi Master told her to do, while Ahsoka liked to ask a lot of questions before she agreed to do something. Barriss and Ahsoka learned to look past their differences and became good friends. A Padawan learns from their mistakes and listens to their teachers. When Ahsoka did not listen to Anakin's orders, she failed at her mission. Oh, that's for the next page. It is also important for a Jedi Padawan to be selfless and help others, no matter what the cost. When Senator Padme Amidala was in danger, Ahsoka raced to help her right away. Sometimes Padawans find themselves in scary situations, but they must be brave and rely on their Jedi training. Ahsoka defended herself against enemies like General Grievous, Asajj Ventress, and Cad Bane. A Padawan passes on the lessons they've learned to others. Ahsoka trained rebels on Onderon to defend themselves from the droid army. And taught a group of younglings how to build their own lightsabers. A lightsaber is the weapon of a Jedi Knight. Every lightsaber is different and special to its owner. Ahsoka has two lightsabers. In certain situations, a Padawan has to slow down and have patience. When Ahsoka lost one of her lightsabers, she had to learn to quiet her mind and calm her worries in order to find it. More than anything, Padawans must learn to trust in themselves. When Ahsoka was accused of something she didn't do, she had to learn to stand up for herself, even when it felt like no one but Anakin believed her. And a Padawan should always have hope, no matter how dark things seem. Ahsoka never gave up when she was on trial for a crime she did not commit. She knew the Jedi Council would discover the truth, that she was innocent, and they did. Sometimes Padawans have to make tough decisions. Ahsoka decided to walk away from the Jedi Order to follow her own path. Every Padawan has a different journey. Where will your journey take you? Are you ready to become a Padawan? And that concludes our special story tonight. I am a Padawan. Oops, sorry, one second. My allergies or something have been bothering me. Let me actually make myself not big before I do that on screen. Let's see here. Remove, I'll exit, solo, layout. All right, okay, so that was our special story, and I just read that not long ago on the channel during my Star Wars Stories series. I forget what I called that, but it was,
Those were fun. I love those, Dan.
yeah. They're back on the channel, and they were
Mhm.
just like over, starting in May, actually. I kicked it off with May the 4th be with you.
Mhm.
I read all
Mhm.
Star Wars stories for about a
Yeah.
month, and so those are on the channel. Um, if you know Star Wars, you'll recognize the title. Um,
Those are
when you
so much
see
fun.
the
I love what they've
streams,
done. The little golden books in in a lot of Disney and Star Wars. So
yes,
yeah,
it
yeah. Those
was
were
a
once upon a turkey leg.
it was a special series. I called it something else. I've done it like 2 years in a row. Is this it?
May the turkey legs be with you.
May the turkey legs be with you. I'm thinking that was the most recent this year's. Um, yes. Yes. Yes, 2023.
Mhm.
So it's May the turkey legs be with you, and actually I've got a
Those were
playlist.
fun. Those were a
A
lot of fun.
playlist. Let me pop that into the
Oh,
stream
cool,
since
cool.
I've got it right here going on. Where's my channel? Hey, look, I'm live.
You are. You are.
All right, so this is May the turkey leg. Oh, it just posted. Okay, May the turkey legs be with you.
There we go.
Playlist. There's about five. I think there I saw
Yeah,
there
yeah.
were 5 streams. Yeah. So check that out. I read a lot. Several of the Star Wars little golden books. So that's going to kind of start wrapping up tonight's stream. Now, Dawn, you want to tell us about what's coming up on the Hitchhiking Bones, just in general, and also relating to Ahsoka?
Sure will. We have, well, we this past week we had Mark and Irene from Wonderful World of Walter on our regular episode of Hitchhiker Chat, which takes place on Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. And Mark and Irene came on and told us about all their adventures. They have done, East Coast to West Coast, Disneyland, Super Mario World, a Disney cruise, and Walt Disney World. So we went through all of their adventures, and that is last week's Hitchhiker Chat. We have coming now. We also did um, an episode on Ahsoka's backstory. If you want to check that out, and some we dive a little deeper into her backstory.
Oh, that's
That
true.
we
Yes.
Mhm. We did, but we have coming up on the 31st. We will be doing a minute by minute, if you will, review of Ahsoka, much like we did with The Mandalorian. We did it Book of Boba Fett, and we also have Obi-Wan Kenobi. So William and I are looking really forward to starting that series. Will be weekly on Thursdays, starting uh, the 20. Let's see, whatever next Thursday is. I'd have to check that date, but at 12 p.m. Central. So grab some lunch. 1 p.m. Eastern, grab some lunch and join us. Those thumbnails are up. Hey, Dave, welcome in.
Hey,
Speaking of
Dave,
Dave,
welcome in.
yeah. But yeah, those are up. Those two thumbnails for episodes 1 and 2, and then episode 3. So be sure and join us for those. We love this. Wayne and I absolutely love reviewing Star Wars content. I've always said I feel like it's some of the best content that we do. We take pretty deep dives into the backstory and try to give you a lot of good details on Easter eggs and character development and history and what have you. So, by all means, plan to join us for those. Whether
Definitely.
there will be spoilers, so if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and watch episodes 1 and 2 and join us for that.
Yeah, and tonight I knew I wasn't going to be able to talk about the series without spoilers, so that's why you've got the warning down there within the banner, the ticker there, because I knew I couldn't talk about Ahsoka without, if I could have, I will have just posted a recorded like 2-minute thing.
Right,
Ahsoka was great. I loved it. I'm so excited to see what happened. So much happened. It would have been something like that, really quick, and to the point.
And we're done.
So yeah, so check out the Hitchhiking Bones.
Thank you.
Next Thursday, I just saw it. It's the 31st. And
look forward to it.
So yeah, look forward on. You guys are also live on Tuesday evenings at 10 p.m. for the Hitchhiker Chat. We kind of got into Ahsoka's backstory, and actually, some of her backstory was covered in this story, which I forgot about actually. So
that was fun.
Yeah. So check out the Hitchhiking Bones. I'm currently in a kind of a sabbatical season with my channel, so I'm not streaming as much. I was just live on Sunday night for Drumsticks After Dark, and I will be live again. I put this down. I've got next Drumsticks After Dark. I've still got this here. The next Drumsticks After Dark will be September the 10th and October the 15th. Starting in November. Starting in November, though, I am actually going to bump up my Drumsticks After Dark to the second Sunday and the fourth Sundays of each month. So I will be sharing those specific dates. Also coming up in October, the Peanuts Countdown to Halloween.
Yay.
Featuring excerpts of the stories in this book.
Oh, fun.
I did a countdown to Christmas with a similarly titled book this past December. Those were like recorded, edited vlogs. This countdown series will be live every morning. It's going to be such a project. Going to be live every morning, live daily, October 1st through the 31st. And actually, I'll probably be live whatever the last date of September, and is that 30th? September 30th, for kind of a kickoff introduction stream. So these are short stories. It's not going to be anything, like going an hour. They're like 1 or 2 pages. I'm going to go live, say good morning, read the story, and then, say have a great day. So it's probably going to be, not even a 5-minute long stream,
It'll be
but I'm
fun.
doing it live to give everyone the opportunity to plan as they wake up and get ready for the day, to just pop in and hear a quick Halloween themed
Yeah,
story.
it'll be fun.
So I'm looking forward to that. Again, going live every single day is going to be such a challenge, but I'm up for it for the month. And if that goes well, I have a book on order. It's coming in the mail. It's supposed to be here tomorrow. It is another countdown to Christmas. This time it is Disney. Disney Countdown to Christmas. I haven't even seen it yet, but it looks fun from the Amazon description. It just looks like a ton of fun. I don't know if that'll be another live thing or pre-recorded yet, but I am looking forward so much
I'm excited for you.
to that coming up in December.
Sounds good.
So yeah, so um, last before we finally sign off and say goodnight, I am heading down to the Magic Kingdom tomorrow, and
Yay!
am planning. Yes, yay! I'm going to be
Yay.
down there in the magic, in the heat and the humidity, but mostly the magic. And I'm planning to do a pop-up stream. It's either going to be pop-up or I'll end up setting up the stream. But I'm going to be streaming the Festival of Fantasy parade from the Magic Kingdom. Um, I'm not sure if it'll be the noon or the 3 o'clock parade. So stay tuned. I'm going to be watching one in live streaming, and then watching and recording the other one.
Other one,
So
okay.
at some point in the future, you'll also see a video of it on the stream. I hope to also get the Disney Adventure Friends Cavalcade featuring He Who We Do Not Talk About, Bruno, now has been added to that cavalcade. So I'm hoping to catch that and have that on the channel in the near future.
Fun. Fun.
So
Lots of good stuff coming up, Dave.
lots of great stuff. And
Yeah.
then yeah. So thanks again, Dawn, for coming on the stream tonight,
My
talking
pleasure. Thanks
about
for asking.
this great Ahsoka series.
Yeah.
Um and thank you everyone for watching tonight. Let me see, what am I? Okay. Oops. Where's my comments? There we go. Okay. Thank you everyone for popping in, watching live or on the replay. If you have not already, bop the like button down here somewhere. And if you're watching this, you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And, like I said, there'll be more streams coming up, especially in October and going into the holiday season and then into the new year. Although things might be a little sparse until October hits. But yeah. So have a gobbletastic night, everyone. And remember, the Force will be with you always.
Always.